Good day. Before discussing my topic, I will tell brief information about myself. I'm Eliza Torres, 20 years old, taking the course of BSBA major in Human Resource. For my contact information, I have a Gmail account and was named May Oliveres at gmail.com. My hobbies are reading a love story and eating. I'm a member of an organization of the Human Resource Executive Management Society in the URS Rodriguez Campus. My educational background: in primary, I went to San Jose Elementary. Secondary, went to San Jose National High School. And senior high school, I went to San Jose Litex Senior High School. And now that I'm in tertiary, I'm schooling at the University of Rizal System Rodriguez Campus. My achievements are grade 7 to grade 10, I'm achiever or belong on the top 10 of the class. Grand champion at CookFest, and I take NC1 cookery when I'm in grade 9 and NC2 in grade 10. I graduated with honor at grade 12 and take bookkeeping NC3 as I am a BM student. My aspiration is I aspire that someday I can provide all the needs and wants of my family because they are the reason why I keep going and striving. My motto in life is no regret, just lesson learned. Because every mistake I commit, I take it not a failure, but a lesson to learn. But honestly, I have a lot of mottos. Depending on the situation or events I'm in, I use that all to motivate myself that I must keep going. Personal selling is a mainstay of non-profit as well as for-profit organization. Personal selling is considered as traditional selling, which is known as face-to-face selling, in which one person, who is the salesman, tries to convince the customer to buy a product. It is a promotional method by which the salesperson uses or her skill and abilities in attempt to make a sale. They aim to inform and encourage the customer to buy or at least trial the product. By this method, it helps to generate a profit for the company who does CSR to some organization. A good example of personal selling is found in department store on the perfume and cosmetic counters. A customer can get advice on how to apply the product and can try different products. Products with relatively high prices or with complex features are often sold using personal selling. Designing the sales force. Personal selling is a key element in promotion, one of the core P's in the marketing mix. But not all sales representative do the same kind of selling. The 4 P's of marketing include product, price, place, and promotion. So, personal selling is a promotion. These 4 are the key elements that must united to be effectively poster and promote a brand's unique value and help it stand out from the competition. All sales representatives do not exactly do the same kind of personal selling, as there are different types of selling such as transactional selling, product-oriented selling, needs-oriented selling, social selling, etc. If possible, they use other methods of selling. In business settings, McMurray has distinguished the 6 types of sales representative, ranging from the least to the most creative types of selling. First is deliverer. This is a salesperson whose major task is to deliver a product. A good example nowadays is Lalamove, Shopee, and Lazada delivery, or some crew or waiter who delivers the order when someone takes a dine-in. Second, order taker. This is a salesperson who acts predominantly as an inside or order taker, the salesperson standing behind the counter, or outside order taker, the salesperson calling on the supermarket manager. Example, at a fast food chain who takes your order whether it is dine-in or not. Third is missionary, a salesperson whose major task is to build goodwill or to educate the actual or potential user rather than to sell. Example is a financial advisor who advises somebody to budget wisely their money. Fourth is technician, a salesperson with a high level of technical knowledge. Example is the engineering salesperson who is primarily a consultant to client companies. Another example is the company of Technolog who's offering the equipment and services such as maintaining the machine of other businesses. Fifth is demand creator. Demand creator is a salesperson who relies on creative methods for selling tangible products like vacuum cleaners or siding, or intangible such insurance or education. Lastly, solution vendor. A solution vendor is a salesperson whose expertise lies in solving customer problems, often with the system of the firm's goods and services. Example is a computer and communication system. In general, salespeople perform one or more of the following tasks. This is the task that suggests to salesperson to do to have a better service and result with a good sale. First is prospecting. Prospecting is an important activity for salespeople because it is the primary means of generating revenue and guarding against the effects of customer turnover. While it's possible to increase revenue by raising prices, the most effective way to increase revenue and grow market share is to acquire new customers. Next is targeting, deciding how to allocate their time among prospects and customers. Third, communicating information about the company's product and services. Fourth, selling, approaching, presenting, answering objection, and closing sales. Fifth, servicing, providing various services to customer, consulting on problems, rendering technical assistance, arranging to finance, expediting delivery. Next is information gathering, conducting market research, and doing intelligence work. And lastly, allocating. Allocating is deciding which customer will get scarce product during shortages. As this list suggests, the sales representative serves as the company link to its customer and prospect while bringing back much needed information about customers, market, and competitors. Therefore, smart companies look carefully at the design of the sales force, including the development of sales force objectives, strategy, structure, size, and compensation. Sales force objectives and strategy. Each company needs to define the specific objectives its sales force will achieve. Increasingly, companies are setting objectives for sales reps based not only on sales volume and profitability targets, but also on their ability to create customer satisfaction. Sales objectives give your sales team a clear roadmap of what they need to do to help your company achieve its overall goals. Each objective comprises specific, measurable action items that help salespeople make sure individual and team-wide goals are achieved. The division of a business that is responsible for selling products or services. Evaluating your current sales force is an important step in the process of deciding whether and how to grow your sales team. Example, Tiffany, the famous retailer of expensive jewelry purchased in this store, can be like an investment, so management trains its retail sales staff to be consultants rather than strictly salespeople. Salespeople are trained to offer advice and information about the quality and cut of stone, the suitability of various settings, and the choices available in various price ranges. Even when selling less expensive items, salespeople know that part of the purchase is the experience and prestige of shopping at Tiffany. They also know that satisfied customer is a potential repeat customer. To fulfill the objectives of the company, specifically referring to the sales force, it needs an accountable team because there's always a good outcome if there's a teamwork. By dividing the task to each individual, such as the customer service representative, office staff, or in technical information, the work will be smooth and so on. An example of a successful sales team orientation is provided by DuPont. Finding that corn growers need an herbicide that could be applied less often, DuPont appointed a team of chemists, sales and marketing executive, and regulatory specialists to tackle the problem. Working together, they create a product that captured $57 million in sales during its first year. Once the company decides on objectives and strategy, it can use either a direct or a contractual sales force. A direct sales force consists of full or part-time paid employees who work exclusively for the company. This sales force includes inside sales personnel who conduct business from the office using the telephone, fax, and email, and receive visits from prospective buyers and field sales personnel who travel and visit customer. A contractual sales force, it consists of manufacturer reps, sales agents, and brokers who are paid a commission based on sales. The sales force strategy has implications for the sales force structure. If the company sells one product line to one end-using industry with customers in many locations, it would use a territorial sales force structure. What is a territorial sales force structure? It is each sales representative is assigned an exclusive territory. This structure results in a clear definition of responsibilities and increases the rep's incentive to cultivate local business and personal ties. If the company sells many products to many types of customer, it might need a product or market sales force structure. So what is market structure? Market structure is specialization helps the sales force become knowledgeable about specific customer needs, but the major disadvantage is that customers are scattered throughout the country, requiring extensive travel. So what is product structure? Product structure is particularly useful for product lines that are technically complex, highly unrelated, or very numerous. Example, Kodak uses one sales force for its film product that are intensively distributed and another sales force to sell complex products that require technical support. Next, major accounts, also called key accounts, national accounts, global accounts, or house accounts, are typically singled out for special attention. The largest accounts may have a strategic account management team who consists of cross-functional personnel who are permanently assigned to one customer and may even maintain offices at the customer's facility. For example, Procter & Gamble assigned a strategic account team to work with Walmart at its Bentonville, Arkansas headquarters. This arrangement has saved P&G and Walmart $30 billion jointly through supply chain improvement while boosting profit margin by about 11%. This step created a mix of industry and product specialists in another change. IBM sales reps have taken on an active role as consultant and now seek to create customer solution. Even doing so sometimes means recommending a competitor's technology. Salesforce structure, it develops a framework to guide the design and management of the sales organization that is consistent with company strategy and drive results. Salesforce structure decision impact customer and company results by directly influencing salespeople and their activities. First, territorial. This structure results in a clear definition of responsibility and increase the rep's incentive to cultivate local business and personal ties. Example, travel expenses remain relatively low because each rep travels within a small area. Second, product. The importance of sales reps knowing their products together with the development of product division and product management has led many companies to structure their sales forces along product lines. Product specialization is particularly useful for product lines that are technically complex, highly unrelated, or very numerous. Example, Kodak uses one sales force for its film products that are intensively distributed and another sales force to sell complex products that require technical support. Next, market. Market specialization helps the sales force become knowledgeable about specific customer needs, but the major disadvantage is that customers are scattered throughout the country, requiring extensive travel. Next is complex. When a company sells a diverse product line to many types of customers over a broad geographical area, it often combines several structures with sales force specialized by territory, market, and product market, and so on. A sales representative might then report to one or more line and staff managers. Motorola has 4 types of sales forces. A strategic market sales force, it composed of technical, application, and quality engineers and services personnel assigned to major accounts. Second, a geographic sales force calling on customers in different territories. Next, a distributor sales force calling on and coaching Motorola distributors. And lastly, an inside sales force handling orders via phone and fax. From a customer perspective, structured decision determine how many different salespeople the customer sees, how knowledgeable salespeople are about their products and customer, and therefore how responsive salespeople can be to the customer needs. Sales force size and compensation. Once the company clarifies its sales force strategy and structure, it is ready to consider sales force size based on the number of customers it wants to reach. Sales force compensation is very important because it directly affects not only the sales cost and the profits, but more significantly the attitude, interest, and the behavior of salesmen and the nature of their task. The compensation package is a critical element in attracting top quality sales reps. Starting with the level and components, the level of compensation must bear some relation to the going market price for the type of sales job and required abilities. Example, if the market price for salespeople is well defined, the individual firm has little choice but to pay the going rate. However, the market price for salespeople is seldom well defined because published data on industry sales force compensation levels are infrequent and generally lack sufficient detail. The company must next determine the four components of sales force compensation: a fixed amount, a variable amount, expense allowances, and benefits. The fixed amount is a salary intended to satisfy the sales rep need for income stability. Next, the variable amount, which might be commission, a bonus, or profit sharing, is intended to stimulate and reward greater effort. Next is expense allowances, enable sales reps to meet the expenses involved in travel, lodging, dining, and entertaining. Next, benefits, such as paid vacation, sickness, or accident benefits, pension, and life insurance are intended to provide security and job satisfaction. Fixed compensation receives more emphasis in jobs with a high ratio of non-selling to selling duties and in jobs in which the selling task is technically complex and involves teamwork. Variable compensation receives more emphasis in jobs in which sales are cyclical or depend individual initiative. Next, fixed and variable compensation give rise to three basic types of compensation plan. First, straight salary. Straight salary plans provide sales reps with secure income, make them more willing to perform non-selling activities, and give them less incentive to overstock customer. From the company's perspective, they provide administrative simplicity and lower turnover. Next is straight commission. Straight commission plans attract higher sales performers and provide more motivation, require less supervision, and control selling costs. And lastly, combination salary and commission. Combination salary and commission plans offer the benefits of both plans while reducing their disadvantage. Such plans allow companies to link the variable portion of a salesperson pay to a wide variety of strategic goals. One trend is toward de-emphasizing volume measure in favor of factors such as gross profitability, customer satisfaction, and customer retention. For example, IBM now partly rewards salespeople based on customer satisfaction as measured by customer survey. Only 1/4 of all firms use either a straight salary or straight commission method, while 3/4 use a combination of the two, though the relative proportion of salary versus incentive varies widely. Managing the sales force. Effective management of the sales force is needed to implement the company's chosen sales force design and achieve its sales objectives. Sales force management covers the steps in recruiting and selecting, training, supervising, motivating, and evaluating representatives. Managing a sales force is required to reach your sales goal. All organizations need to sell to stay in business and enjoy sustainable growth. Focusing on effectively managing your sales force will help you to increase sales, add new customers, and build a stronger relationship with existing customers. Recruiting and selecting sales representatives. At the heart of successful sales force is the selection of effective representatives. In selecting sales reps, the company can start by asking customers what traits they prefer in salespeople. Most customer wants honest, reliable, knowledgeable, and helpful reps. Another approach is to look for traits that are common to successful salespeople. According to Charles Garfield, concluded that super sales performers exhibit risk-taking, a powerful sense of mission, a problem-solving bent, care for the customer, and careful planning. And to Meyer and Greenberg, according to them, that the effective salesperson has empathy, the ability to feel as the customer does, and ego drive, a strong personal need to make the sale. After management develops suitable selection criteria, the next step is to recruit applicants by various means, including soliciting names from current sales reps, using employment agencies, placing print and online job ads, and contacting graduating college students. Selection procedure can vary from an informal interview to prolonged testing interviewing. Right salesmen can help company achieve marketing objectives. Recruitment and selection are two important decisions in sales force management that concern with ensuring the right type, right qualities, right qualification, and right experience of sales personnel. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone! Before we start, I would like first to introduce myself. I am Claudette Palma Casoy, 20 years old, taking BSBA HRDM. My hobbies are vlogging, video editing, basic photography hobbies only, and many more. I do believe that once you stop learning, you start dying, because we all know that learning is already a part of our lives. Every day and every seconds we learn even the small things. I am a member of the organization Human Resource Executive Management Society in University of Rizal System. As you can see, here are the schools I attended until the present. In this presentation, you can see also some of my academic achievements. As we move along to our discussion, I would like to tell my aspiration, and that is to be a successful HR with great mindset and a vlogger with passion. So, before we start, I would like first to thank Ms. Torres for discussing the first part of our topic, the chapter 16, Managing Sales Force. So, my report will be basically the continuation of hers. As a part of managing the sales force, Ms. Torres already discussed the meaning and its subtopic, which is recruiting and selecting sales representatives. So now let us proceed to the next one, which is the training sales representatives. So as you can see here, today's customer expect salespeople to have deep product knowledge, offer ideas to improve customer operations, and to efficient and reliable. These demands have required companies to make a much higher investment in training their sales representatives. Companies use training to help sales representative. Number one, know and identify with the company. Second, learn about the company's products. Third, know customers and competitors' characteristics. Fourth, make effective sales presentations. And the last one is to understand sales procedures and responsibilities. in today's extremely competitive business environment, having any advantage over the competition is useful. One of the most important tools that a company can have to ensure that stay one step ahead is a strong sales team. A trained sales team can generate new opportunities, which can lead to huge returns for a company. The better trained your sales team is, the better results for your entire company. So, sales training enhances the person to person connection, which is, I think, necessary to gain loyal consumers. So, according to Impact Communications Incorporated.com, 71% of people base their buying decisions on trust and believability. All salespeople need to thoroughly understand their audience's wants and needs, of course, while also being able to communicate to that audience what the benefits of the products and services their company offers are, so that they can truly appeal to the audience and build that necessary loyalty. Okay, training time varies with the complexity of the selling task and the type of person recruited into the sales organization. Training period or training time is a time-limited series of training sessions that always take place at the same time on one or more specific days at the same time. Okay, we have here the training time types. First is the median training period, usually 28 weeks in industrial products companies, 12 in service companies, and 4 in consumer products companies. Well, IBM, according here, new representatives receive extensive initial training and may spend 15% of their time each year in additional training. Okay, what is training? Of course, it involves a variety of methods, including role-playing, audio and videotapes, CD-ROMs, and web-based distance learning. We all know that training is teaching or developing in oneself or others any skills and knowledge or fitness that relate to specific useful competencies. Training has specific goals, of course, of improving one's capability, capacity, productivity, and performance. Training also gives everyone a great understanding of their responsibilities and the knowledge and skills they need to do the job. This will enhance their confidence, which can also improve their overall performance. Okay, so according here for supervising sales representatives, new sales representatives needs more than a territory, a compensation package, at training. They also need proper supervision. For instance, representatives at the Tandem division of Compaq used to complain that they could not keep up with the printed information and training materials the company sent them. Now, field representatives carry their own miniature training rooms with them. They simply slip a CD-ROM disk into their laptop computers. Okay. So, let us now first proceed. Okay. Here are the norms for customer calls, norms for prospect calls, and using time efficiently. So first, we have the norms for customer calls. In the early 1980s, the average salesperson made 5 calls a day. By 1989 rather, that number had dropped to just 4.2 sales calls a day. Today salespeople make even fewer in-person sales calls because they are using phone, fax, and email to sell. In addition, more firms are using automated ordering systems to reduce reliance on sales calls. How many calls should a company make on a particular account each year? Well, research shows that additional calls generally produce more sales, but companies still need to determine whether the increase in sales justify the increase in sales cost. And some studies and experiences, such as those of Amatil discussed earlier, will suggest that sales representatives may be spending too much time selling to smaller or less profitable accounts when they should be focusing more of their efforts on selling to larger, more profitable accounts. More of their efforts on selling to larger, therefore, in setting norm, management needs to weigh the cost of a customer sales call against the sales and profit payback for that account. Okay, next is the norms for prospect calls. Knowing the high cost of sales calls, companies often specify how much time representatives should spend prospecting for new accounts. Well, Spectre Fright, for instance, wants its sales representatives to spend 25% of their time prospecting and to stop calling on a prospect after 3 unsuccessful calls. Other companies set prospect and customer norms based on product sales, specifying, for example, that representative spend 80% of their time selling established products and 20% selling new products. Well, companies set up prospecting standards because many representatives, left to their own devices, will spend most of their time with current customers who are known quantities rather than the prospects who might not never buy. In general, selling to prospects tends to be more difficult and more time-consuming than selling to established accounts, yet it is the road to customers-based expansion and closing more sales. This is why some firms deploy a special missionary sales force to open new accounts. Okay, last is the using sales time efficiently. Well, not surprisingly, studies confirm that the best sales representatives are those who manage their time effectively. One popular efficiency tool is configurator software to automate the order preparation process. Another tool is time and duty analysis, which helps representatives understand how they spend their time and how they might increase their productivity. So now, popular efficiency tool is configurator software to automate the order preparation process. So this type of program is offered by Massachusetts-based Concentra Corporation, among others. On a sales call, representatives can use configurator software to present product specification and pricing information, show customization options, and handling scheduling. Integrating all of this information, the configurator software can virtually write up the order in minutes. Well, this software not only saves time, it also builds goodwill by reducing errors and letting both customers and suppliers see the same information from the same source. So Concentra's customer says this software has helped them increase sales and reduced cancellations. Okay, in general, sales representatives spend time in first, preparation. So getting information and planning call strategy. Second one is travel, which can be more than 50% of total time. Third one, food and break, some portion of every workday. Fourth one is waiting, so waiting to see buyers. Fifth one is selling, time spent with the buyer. And the last one is the administration, writing reports, billing, attending sales meetings, and so on. With so many duties, it is no wonder that actual face-to-face selling time can amount to as little as 25% of total working time. Okay, to improve sales force productivity, many companies train their representatives in the use of phone power, simplify recording keeping, and use computerized methods to develop call and routing plans, and to supply representatives with customer and competitive information. Okay, as you can see here, seeking to reduce the time demands on their outside sales force, many firms have increased the size and responsibilities of their inside sales force. Okay, we have first the technical support people. So, provide technical information and answers to customers' question. So that is one of the example, and as you can see here, we have also the sales assistants, which provide clerical backup for the cost outside representatives by confirming appointments, carrying out credit checks, following up on deliveries, and answering customers' questions. We also have here the telemarketers. So this one, they use the phone to find new leads, qualify and sell to them, reactivate former accounts, and give more attention to neglect accounts. The best sale representatives spend time getting to know their customers' preferences, needs, and buying patterns so they can plan their calls accordingly. Okay, we have here the technology. So, they speeds up this process. For example, before telecommunications representatives at Timeplex go on a sales call, they use their laptops to dial into the firm's data network and retrieve status reports on that accounts, previous orders, and other background information. When deals are struck, well, simplify, the representatives use their laptops to record each order, double check errors, and then transmit everything electronically to the firm's New Jersey headquarters. While internet technology is helping to make prospecting more efficient, company websites provide an introduction to self-identified potential customers, and for some businesses may lead to online orders. For more complex transaction, the site provides a way for the buyers to contact the seller. For example, through a link to an email address. The Paul Corporation, which makes fluid filtration and purification technologies, has all email directed to company headquarters, with leads going directly to the appropriate sales representative. The quality and quantity of leads generated by its website, which is the www.pal.com, has prompted the firm to promote its homepage more aggressively. As another example, the Lucent Technologies, or www. That's too much W. To make it simple, Lucent.com combines email with web marketing to generate more qualified sales lead. A typical campaign starts with an email inviting prospects to learn more about a particular offer and qualify for a free gift by visiting a customized web page. Once there, prospects answer a few qualifying questions and then request information to be sent by mail. So Lucent's automated system separates these leads based on product needs and contacts the best prospects 2 weeks later, offering free downloadable software for analyzing total products cost. Prospects who choose the download are considered hot leads. So the system sends Lucent's Salesforce complete contact data on those prospects for immediate follow-up. According to them, we never had to pick up the phone and we've already established a relationship with them. Notes from the Lucent Senior Manager of Marketing Services. Next is the motivating sales representative. Sorry for my PowerPoint. So the font and the font size changes because I use different type of PowerPoint presentation or PowerPoint application. So according here, motivating sales representatives, some ambitious sales representatives are self-starters who will put forth their best effort without any special coaching. So, the majority of representatives, however, require more encouragement and special incentives. This is especially true of field selling, which can be frustrating because, representatives usually work alone, keep irregular hours, are win an account, and sometimes lose large orders and they have worked hard to obtain. Most people moreover requires incentives such as financial gain or social recognition to operate at full capacity. So, studying sales representative motivation, okay, we have there the Churchill, Ford, and Walker. They developed a model indicating that the higher the salesperson's motivation, the greater his or her effort. So, greater effort will lead to greater performance, of course. Greater performance will lead to greater rewards, and greater rewards will lead to greater satisfaction. And lastly, greater satisfaction will lead reinforced motivation. The model thus implies that sales managers must be able to convince salespeople that first one is they can sell more by working harder or by being trained to work smarter. And the second one is the rewards for better performance are worth the extra effort. Well, according to this research, the most valued reward was pay, followed by promotion, personal growth, and sense of accomplishment. The least valued the least valued rewards were liking and respect, security and recognition. Thus, salespeople seem highly motivated by pay and the chance to get ahead and satisfy their intrinsic needs, and less motivated by compliments and security. So the researchers also found that the importance of motivators varied with demographic characteristics. So financial rewards were mostly valued by older, longer tenured people and those who had large families, while higher order rewards such as recognition were more valued by young salespeople who were unmarried or had small families, and usually more formal education. So, however, motivators can vary across countries, whereas money is the number one motivator of 37% of US salespeople, and only 20% of salespeople in Canada feel the same way. So it has a huge difference. It depends also on the countries. So, salespeople in Australia and New Zealand were the least motivated by a fat paycheck. Next is the sales quota. Well, what do we mean by sales quota? Well, a sales quota is a target sales representative are set for a specific period. It can be month, quarter, or year depending on the company. So, sales quotas can be set in the dollar figures or in the numbers of goods or services sold. According here, many companies set sales quotas prescribing what representatives should sell during the year. Quotas can be set on dollar sales, unit volume, margin, selling effort or activity, and product type. After setting quotas, management often ties salesperson compensation to degree of quota fulfillment. Well, sales quota are developed from the annual marketing plan. As described in Chapter 3, management first prepares a sales forecast, which becomes the basis for planning production, workforce size, and financial requirements. Then, the firm can establish sales quotas for regions and territories, often setting the total of all quotas higher than the sales forecast to encourage managers and salespeople to perform at their best level. If they fail to make their quotas, the company nevertheless might make its sales forecast. Well, according also here that each area sales managers divides that area quotas to arrive at an individual quota for each sales representative. A common approach to individual quotas is to set the individual's representative quota at least equal to the person's previous year's sales plus some fraction of the difference between area potential and previous year's sales. The more the representative reacts favorably to pressure, the higher the fraction should be. Okay, we have here, as you can see, the supplementary motivators. Well, company use additional motivators to stimulate sales force effort. One motivator is the periodic sales meeting. What do we mean by sales meeting? Well, according here, a social occasion that also serves as an important tool for education communication. Oh my god, I'm really sorry for my PowerPoint because as you can see, some fonts, or I mean the sizes it changes because of the PowerPoint that I used a while ago. So sales meetings are called for a variety of reasons and depend on the type of company. They may be used as a way to, I think, motivate recognize top performers and set department goals. Discuss new products and services in development and give product updates. Only hold meetings when there is a reason to hold a meeting. That may be once a month or once every 2 weeks, once a week, or as needed. We have here Anne Machado, not Machado, it's Machado or Macado. She is the founder and owner of Creative Staffing, an employment services firm. Rewards both sales and non-sales employees with expensive dinners, parties, flowers, spa, sessions, cooking lessons, and extra vacation time. So, Anne, in Tagalog is bongga or malakasan. So, the contest should present a reasonably opportunity for enough salespeople to win. At IBM, about 70%. Well, I think the sales force qualify for the 100% club. The reward is a 3-day trip capped off by a recognition dinner and a special pin. So her secret is letting people pick the reward they want and outline what they will do to earn. Then all she has to do is approve it. According to her, or according to Anne, letting people choose their own rewards and goals empowers them. Okay, what a very powerful quotation. So next, evaluating the sales representative. So now we have been describing the feed-forward aspects of sales supervision. Feed-forward means how management communicates what sales representative should be doing and motivates them to do it. But good feed-forward requires good feedback. Well, what do we mean by feedback? Which means getting regular information from representatives to evaluate their performance. Okay, why do we need an evaluation? Well, a sales evaluation helps you determine which salespeople perform well and which don't. With that information, you can reward your sales team members according to their performance. Through the evaluation, salespeople may learn of your expectation and set their goals accordingly. So, under the evaluation of sales representatives, we have the sources of information. According here, management can obtain information about representatives in several ways, including sales reports, personal observation, customer letters and complaints, customer service, and conversations with other sales representatives. Okay, territory marketing plan. They outline their program for developing new accounts and increasing. So this type of report casts sales representatives into the role of market managers and profit centers. Sales managers studies these plans, make suggestions, and use them to develop sales quotas. So sales representatives write up completed activities, on-call reports, and in addition submit expense reports, new business. So these reports provide raw data from which sales managers can extract key indicators of sales performance. Okay, we have 9. First one is the average number of sales calls per representative per day. Second one, average sales call time per contact. Next is the average revenue per sales call, average cost per sales call, entertainment cost per sales call, and percentage of orders per 100 sales calls, number of new customers per period, number of lost customers per period, and sales force cost as a percentage of total sales. Let us now proceed to the formal evaluation. So according here that sales reports along with other observations supply the raw materials for evaluation. These are the for example, if one representative average gross profit per customer is lower than the company's average, that representative could be concentrating on the wrong customers or not spending enough time with each customer. So we have here, as you can see, there are several approaches to conducting evaluation. One type is the evaluation compares the representative's current performance to that individual's past performance and to overall company averages on key sales performance indicators. These comparisons help management pinpoint specific area for improvement. Okay, evaluations. Assess the representative's knowledge of the firm products, customers, competitors, territory, and responsibilities, relevant personality characteristics, and any problems in motivation or compliance. So the sales manager can also check that salespeople know and observe the law. For example, as indicated earlier, an increasing number of companies are measuring customer satisfaction, not only with their product and customer support service, but also with their salespeople. Finally, salespeople must not disparage competitors or competing products by suggesting things that are not true. For example, under the U.S. law, salespeople's statements must match the product's advertising claims. In selling to businesses, salespeople may not offer bribes to purchasing agents or others misinfluencing a sale. They may not obtain or use competitors' technical or trade secrets through bribery or industrial espionage. To simply explain this one, never ever copy anyone or avoid misleading informations. And yes, so I think I already reached my report. And thank you so much, guys, for listening. I hope you learned something from the discussion. This is not the end because the last part of our presentation will be discussed by Miss Halop. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Angela Dinis S. Halo, and I am taking BSBA HRDM course, 19 years old. I love singing, dancing, cooking, cleaning, watching, and more. I believe in the saying or in the motto that if it's meant to be, it will be. Because I believe that if something is really for you, it is really for you. Like if you believe that you are meant to be successful too, you will do anything for you to be able to earn it. I studied at Commonwealth Elementary School from grade 1 to grade 3, President Corazon C. Aquino Elementary School, grade 4, Southville 8B Elementary School, grade 5, Kasiglahan Village Elementary School, grade 6, Kasiglahan Village National High School from grade 7 to grade 10, Asian Institute of Computer Studies from grade 11 to grade 12, and now at University of Rizal System. My achievement in life is when I graduated from kinder to senior high, and up to now here in college is too close. That's my achievement because there are some people, teens who are not able to study like me. That's why I am so happy and blessed that I had given a chance to experience that. Someday I want to be a HR, Mrs. Owner, or maybe a chef. This is my email, angeladenicehalop@gmail.com. My topic is all about the principles of personal selling. So what is personal selling? Personal selling is an ancient art that has spawned many principles, which are the sale professionalism, negotiation, and relationship marketing. When we say personal selling, this is where businesses use people or the sales force to sell the product after meeting face-to-face with the customer. The functions or the use of the sellers are the one who promote the product through their attitude, appearance, and specialist product knowledge. So first, sales professionalism. It refers to the commonly expected behaviors, etiquette, and mannerisms for sales professionals. So who are the salespersons? They are the one who greet the customers and helps them to find the product that they wanted to buy. There are two basic approaches in training salesperson to be ordered, which are the sales-oriented approach and customer-oriented approach. When we say sales-oriented approach, it trains the person in the stereotype high-pressure techniques that is traditionally used in selling automobiles. In sales-oriented approach, people use aggressive outbound sales tactics and marketing promotions to drive revenue. Example of this is the insurance providers because on these policies, their policies are not created based on their consumer needs but on providing the best coverage compared to their competitors. The second one is the customer-oriented approach, who trains salespeople in problem solving. In customer-oriented approach, staff focuses on helping customers to meet their needs and wants. Example of this is asking for their feedback and do the right thing even if it's hard. Next is the ways on how to manage sales force to improve its effectiveness. Number 1. Improving sales force effectiveness. In this way, capabilities, skills, and workforce will be increased and developed. Number 2. Training in selling techniques. In this way, sales professionals will be able to achieve self-success for themselves or in organization. 3. Negotiation skills, or in this way, profitability and wider audience will increase. 4. Relationship building skills. In this way, the improvement of their odds, especially in securing a sale and retaining that customer for long term, will develop. It will help them to communicate properly and have a good relationship towards other people. Next is the major steps in process where most trainers see a professional selling as effective sales. These are the major steps. Number 1. Prospecting and qualifying. In this step, companies are able to examine different data that came from newspaper, websites, or other platforms to encourage or to invite customers. Number 2. Pre-approach, where salespersons need to learn the prospect company, the needs, who are the people involved in the purchase decision, and sets objectives to qualify their prospect. Number 3. Approach, where salespersons decide on how to get relationship to start off, like for example, wearing some clothes that same with their buyers, show courtesy and attention to a buyer. Number 4. Presentation and demonstration, or listening to buyers' needs, the salesperson's needs to tell the story of their product and their company. Number 5. Overcoming objections, where salespersons maintains a positive approach, ask questions to their customers. Number 6. Closing, where salespersons attempts to close sale using one closing technique. Example of this is asking the buyer on what they want to buy, like for example in a restaurant. Number 7. Follow-up maintenance, where the customer satisfaction is ensured. Salesperson should schedule a follow-up call in any order to prevent problems or buyer's unsatisfaction. Number 2. Negotiation. It is a method where people settle differences. One of the examples of this is the agreement between two people or two companies. According to Led and Dobler, negotiation is an appropriate procedure for conducting a sale and when to negotiate. If there are many factors not only in price but also in quality and service, if business risk cannot be determined, if search options and offer mutual gain, and lastly, if this insists on their objective to access a solution. Next is the formulating a negotiation strategy. There are two. Number 1, negotiation strategy, and number 2, principal negotiation. When we say negotiation strategy, it is a commitment to an overall approach that has a good chance of achieving the negotiator's objectives. Negotiation strategy. So, dito na nga pumapasok yung part na kung saan nagkakaroon na ng pag-uusap sa pagitan ng dalawang grupo ng tao or ng dalawang company. And then sa pag-uusap nila na yun, syempre, wala naman na silang ibang gusto kundi ma-achieve kung ano man yung gustong makamit or yung objectives na gustong ma-reach nung isang negotiator. When we say principal negotiation, it was proposed by Fisher and Urey. According to them, principal negotiations is all about listening to each other's viewpoint, focuses on their interests and their personal differences or positions, searching for options that offer mutual gain, and lastly, insists on objective criteria to assess the solution. So kung sa negotiation strategy, doon nakapasok yung agreement between two parties, doon nakapaloob yung kung paano nila ma-reach yung objective ng negotiator. Sa principal negotiation naman, dito naman pumapasok yung agreement din sa kanila, pero in the way of resolving a conflict or problem naman. Dito nagkakaroon na sila ng usapan kung paano nila masasolve yung problem na yon or yung specific conflict na kinakaharap ng company. Number 3, relationship marketing transaction-oriented. It focuses on the increasing of the sales of a company. More companies today are emphasizing relationship marketing rather than transaction marketing. It's because larger customers are often global and prefer suppliers that can, number 1, sell and deliver a coordinated set of products and services to many locations. Number 2, quickly solve problems that arise in different locations. And lastly, number 3, who works closely with customers to improve their products and processes. Who are the salespeople? They are companies linked to their customers because they are the ones who talk and communicate together with their customers about their product and about their company. They are able to prospect, target, communicate, sell, service, and more. And as a salesperson, you should know on how to be flexible, especially in doing different tasks. Salespersons are the one who designs sales force. They are also the one who determine their objective and strategies. The one who choose the sales force structure, the one who estimates on how large is sales force, and lastly, the one who compensate the sales force. Steps in managing sales force. Number 1, recruiting and selecting sales representative. From the word itself, recruit and select means that in order to manage a sales force, there is a person that needs to do that. Number 2, training reps in sales techniques, where in this step, communication will develop especially to gain loyal customers. Number 3, supervising the sales force. Number 4, motivating the sales force. And lastly, evaluating the individual and group sales performance. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for listening.